that about all kind of verses in Torah, Chazal gave their commentaries, explanation, then they add all kind of things that are written in Torah. It's oral Torah. And it's famous verse about the fact that after creation, in 6 days of creation, Hashem brought to man all kind of animals and birds and how you say in English wild animal? It's like a
beasts.
How?
Beasts. Wild animals are beasts.
Beast. It's like
Behema, yeah.
Haha.
Behema.
No, Beima it's in Hebrew. It's
No, I know, but that's what beast is usually connected to.
No. There is a like the sound that they like a tiger. That they
Predator?
how
Predator?
predators. Yes, exactly. So he brought to them those three kind of animals, and they ask him to give them names, and Adam gave names to those animals. Chazal tells us how it was, how was all this story, and they tell that Hashem told to angels that a man is wiser than them. They say it's impossible. So he brought those animals to them, to angels, and asked what's their names, and they didn't know how to answer it. And he brought those animals to a man, and man says, this is the camel, this is the horse, this is the donkey, this is the tiger, lion, eagle, and etc. And that is the midrash. It's what Chazal told us about. And then Hashem asked a man, and what is your name? And Adam says, my name is Adam because I came from the earth. Earth in Hebrew, Adama. I'm earth creatures. Okay. There is continuation of this midrash, but today we won't talk about that. Probably B'ezrat Hashem next time. Now we'll try to analyze this midrash, this story about why angels didn't know how to call, how to give the names, but it's such a difficult thing. They didn't have any talent to give names. What's the problem? It's like a poetical talent to say horse or elephant or something else. What's it such a great thing to give name? Everybody can give names, even you can invent some name. But the thing is that they didn't know how what's the name to give them, because those things, animals, birds, and predators, you say?
Predators. Predators.
Yeah,
Pre. Do you want me to write it?
yeah.
Predators is only.
Predators. נכון. Predators. Thank you. So when he brought to them those animals, I know that what I tell you, it's difficult to understand, but think before you deny what to say. We never in our life saw predators, birds, and animals. We always saw wolf or tiger, leopard, or a cow, or I don't know, pigeon. We never saw animals, because the word animal, it's abstractive idea. animal, it's something that we call one name to a lot of different details, different particles of this idea.
In Greek, you would say chayot.
חיות, בהמה, חיה ועוף.
There's different names for animals.
בהמה, חיה ועוף.
Chayot is more general.
So it's the same like in English, but it's also in Hebrew. There is gan chayot in America, zoo. It calls gan chayot, and I used to say to my Hebrew students, I say, though that you were in gan chayot, nobody saw chayot, because chayot it's animals. Nobody see in his life animal. He saw only cats, dogs, snakes. He didn't see animal. So what it is, animal? It's abstract idea. And those kind of ideas Hashem brought to a man, and he asked him to give them definition, or even say more, Hashem asked a man if he can concrete them, concretization, to make concretization. How say?
Concretize or categorize?
No. Concretization. No, you can say in English concretization? No?
No. It's like a conjugation of the word.
Okay.
Conjugate any word to
So to how say?
Consecrate is to make something holy.
No.
Concretize.
To relate to them in concrete way, yeah. And that what angels couldn't do. Why? Why they couldn't do? Because the meaning of angels, essence of angels, it's that they are abstractive. They're not something specific that you can point in your finger and you see some angel. Angel, it's like a force. It's like an idea. And that's why they cannot make something concrete. But a man, in his essence, this is the way how he thinks. He thinks only in concrete way. And that's why he could do that thing. So how he recognized them as a giraffe or as a hippopotamus or a rhinoceros? How he know that? Chazal explain that a man, it's he's like a essence of all creation. Man, it's like a model of creation. It's like a DNA of all of reality. And man knows how to see in his character, in his personality, in his self. He sees some forces that he recognizes them, those forces, and in reality, they appear in animals. I'll give you example. We know something that we have some idea or maybe quality in ourselves. We have we recognize that in each of us there is a ability to be loyal to something. Loyalty. how would you find in this world something that represent loyalty in our outside world? Inside of me, I recognize I am loyal to my family, to my people, my country, my Torah. I loyal to Hashem. We know we have this loyalty inside of me. Can you find some object in our external world that can represent this loyalty?
An object or a thing? Because I was going to say also like a dog.
Exactly. Dog. This is so man he knew how to define this animal that he called him dog. Just a moment. Why Kelev? Why dog? It's because man has ability to formalize, to give to give formula to some thing that exists in the world. Like say water. You can when I say word water, you can see waterfall and the sea, ocean, and you can see glass of water, and you can see ice and all kind of things. But in chemistry, it will be just 3 digits. Yeah? It will be H2O, and that's it. So there is formula H2O. How you say in English this formula? How you say?
H2O.
No, H2O, but what it is?
Hydrogen dioxide. Это вода.
Yes. This is formula, right? Say. Nuscha. I will give you. I have to finish the idea. So when you say H2O, that can already consist in those 3 things. All water that exists in the world. In this way, man knew how to define this loyalty in words, and he called it Kelev. Kelev, it's a half, it's like half. Lev, it's a heart. He is like a heart. It's like this is his essence. He, with all his heart, serve his master. So he is Kelev, and he gave this name. To another animal, he wanted to say something else, give another definition. So he called different name, but this is the way how he gave names. It's not just poetical talent he has that he call it. This is eagle. This is a donkey. This is a tiger. No. He knew exact how to express in reality that, and that's why angels couldn't do that. Only men can do that. You wanted to say something? Ask something.
Yes, Subaki в Танахе.
But they don't understand. And if you talk in
mention
the
dogs in the Tanakh. Doesn't mention dogs in Tanakh.
of course. שלא תחרץ כלב לשונו. There is verse. Of course, yes. Okay, yes, you understand what I mean. Now, man, in the same way, he knew that he has another ability. For example, ability to work a lot, to be all the time to give his soul, his heart for some work all the time to work. How it calls in alcoholic, yeah, alcoholic. How it calls in work, yeah, workaholic, yeah.
Workaholism.
How you will define that in reality? Chazal said this is ant.
How's it?
Ant.
And
Like
Ant.
like
Ant.
animal.
Ant.
The animal.
Ant. Yeah. And in this way, he gave all names in reality. And then Hashem and when we understand all that he, Chazal said that he gave those names not only to animals, but also to all creatures, all reality, to sun, sky, sand, and forest. All reality, man gave those names. And in this way, those objects appeared in our world. This story this midrash that I tell you is the midrash that happened in upper world, in like a paradise and world to come. But what happened that that reflect what happened in our physical world, in this reality. This is the way how HaKadosh Baruch Hu create the world. We imagine to ourselves in childish way that Hashem make hocus pocus, he did like this, and suddenly create this, it was Big Bang, and it was some explosion, or appears from nothing, appears some earth, or sun, and little by little they start to work all that. It's really like animated cartoons. It's not reality. Chazal explain that this world is reflection of what happened in our soul. And when we hear that, we say, "Wow, wonderful! It's very special." But the thing is that modern science just come to us now, and they say, what Chazal says, this is true. That's what really happened. And we talk already here about that few times, and I say it again. The idea of observer in quantum physics. You probably remember that in quantum physics there is a idea of a man that observe behavior of electron or photon or other particles, and always there is question: is it wave electron? Is it wave, or it's like a small tiny matter, like some? And that was the question. And their conclusion is that it is not wave and not matter, but what it is. They say it's the matter exists. What they call it superposition. Superposition. What it is superposition? It means that it's not wave and not a particle. So what it is? We don't know what it is. That is what in Chazal says chaos. Tohu vavohu. And you remember in Torah written that Hashem created the world, and the world was in darkness and chaos, above the bis. You remember this expression? So what is what is the word chaos? In Hebrew, it's tovavo, chaos. But
Chaos.
chaos, it's something that that it's not balagan, it's not disorder. Chaos, it's not disorder. We think that chaos is disorder, but really it's not, because any disorder have his own order. It's not. It's difficult. It's a complicated order, but it is that you can find order in disorder. Chaos, it's by definition not order, and that is idea of superposition. It's not that and not that, and only because observer man that has some conscious, he influence on electron how to behave, and it causes a reduction of function of wave, and this wave became something that we call electron, something that we can perceive, some tiny part of matter. And that it happened only because man's perception. Yes, that idea that calls in science the observer effect. Somebody wanted to say something before? No? Okay.
I do have a question.
Mhm.
I mean, Kelev is a nice example, but like, does this really go for everything? Like, what's the significance of para, for example?
Para? Yeah. What the idea of para, you say?
Yeah. Like, does everything, like, I can think of a lot of animal names, but I can't really think of any specific.
Yes, of course. Any name of any animal in Hebrew, if it comes from Tanakh, has his meaning, spiritual meaning. So Chazal says, what does it mean cow? It's the idea of cow. It's para rava. Para, it means multiplied itself.
Oh, interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So we go back to the idea of affected sofe. It means so what comes from that we imagine to ourselves the day of creation, like as I said before, it was like in childish way. We imagine to ourselves like this. It was first, let's say, first day of creation. It was create light, and second day water, third day plants, fourth day sun and moon, 5 days birds and the fish. In 6 days was create animals, and in the second part of 6 days it was a man. So if we have time machine and we go back to day of creation and we'll come to 5th days of creation, 5 days, would we see our earth with forest, a lot of green forest, and the maybe in the ocean, and the sun, and the birds, and the fish? It was wonderful. This kind of like an ideal world. So Chazal says no. In 5th days of creation, you wouldn't see anything. And if you imagine, let's say, we come with our how say the source, not source.
Soil?
Flying saucer?
No, that you comes from another planet.
Alien.
Alien kind of with plate.
Flying saucer, no?
Planet.
Saucer. What English?
Planet.
How is it?
Flying saucer?
Yes, flying sources. Yeah, flying sources.
Saucer.
Not saucer.
So if we come with this flying sources, and you want to land, it would be impossible in 5 days of creation, or even in 6 days of creation. Why it can be impossible? Because it was no land, and that's why you cannot land. There is were no earth. It's our imagination. We imagine world in 5 days. In reality, this world became only in 6 days of creation, when man appears. Because you understand logically, think about, if electron doesn't exist, I mean, as particle, it's like a wave or superposition. So it means that atom also doesn't exist as an atom, and molecule doesn't exist, and nothing, no matter. Without man's perception, no matter. We I here in Machon Meir, I had student that he was student in America, and in physics, and he learned it's in Nobel Prize winner in physics. What his name was? That he one of the authors of those theories. Eugene Wigner. And he came. I'll give it. He came to Eugene Wigner in end of his lesson, when he explained them all what I told you now. Wigner explained them there, and in end of the lesson, he came to him and asked him, "Listen, but if it's true what you said, so all history, those billions years." It was dinosaurs. How you say? Dinosaurs, and all those before Homo sapiens. Homo sapiens is just 50,000 years before, and all those billions. We say that this Earth exists for billion years. So, where was all that? So he answered Eugene Wigner that this is a proof that God exists. How it can be proved? Because the fact that they exist is because it was conscious of Hashem that gave to this world to exist. Or you can say the man, he was exists before 6 days of creation, because essence of man, it's not that he have legs or eyes or ears. Essence of man, it's his conscious, and his conscious was exist before.
So,
Yes, please.
So, firstly, where does it state this in the Gemara that we did not perceive, that there was nothing to perceive until man came along?
Again?
Where is the state? Like, what's the original source for what you're saying among Jewish?
It's original source. It exists in Genesis, in the beginning of chapter 2. It's written that before man was created, nothing was in the world. No plant and no animals.
Oh yeah. Also, is this what George Berkeley said? what you're saying now?
Yes, in some term, yes.
So
Yes.
the observer effect then is kind of comparable to Yesod, like this idea of bringing something into existence. Like man acted as like the Yesod to bring the world into Malchut.
I'm much easier to me to understand in quantum physics than in Kabbalah. I'm not a specialist in this
Also,
thing.
does this not make perception subjective? Like, do you accept postmodernism? The idea that, like, are there two reality? Are there 7 billion realities? Or is there one reality? According to this.
Yes, it's also a good question. In my poor opinion, this is, of course, there are no end of realities because it depends on our perception, and there is no such a thing as a object. All object depends on subject that perceive the object, and if there is no subject, no object. And also, quantum physics says that there are multi-world interpretation of quantum theory. It means that there is multiverse. There are no end worlds. It doesn't say that there is no one truth and one reality. It's all those realities, they are shades of one reality. They're just like they're dimensions, different dimensions of one thing. Like you have your different shades of your character, different appearance of your personality, and sometimes it can be no end. It doesn't mean says that you as whole is not exist. Yes, you want to say something?
Yes, you can say like many projections of one reality. Like one reality, but it's many projections.
Yes.
Because they say like everything is determined by the projection of the mind, right? Like how you view, how you see. But it's still one reality, but your layers maybe.
No, we also talked about that before, but I can say it again. The reality doesn't exist without man, without interpretation. It's in philosophy it calls thing itself, or Ding and sich. You know, it depends on your interpretation what you see. What it is, what I have in my hand. What it is? You understand that it depend what how you will. Maybe it's the present of your grandmother passed away that you love here, and for you it's the dearest thing. You say yes, but if it's market, it doesn't make a difference for me what it is. Maybe it's signed to someone that you can kill him, and you just have it in your hand. Maybe you play in a theater at some tough guy with cigar. There is no reality as it is. It will be always interpretation, and that's why Hashem asked man what it is, and he says, and he gave those definitions. This is a horse, this is eagle, this is a tiger. Okay? Now, second step, it was Hashem asked, what kind of idea you represent. You remember, yes, that the cat represent an idea of independence, for example. I say just my guess. Independence. It can be always with you, but it will never serve you, never loyal to you. It's always will be like around you. So, and then Hashem asked a man, and what's idea you represent? Who are you? What is your name? And he says, as you remember, I am Adam. My name is Adam because I came from earth. Now, it's simple. We understand it. But in Hebrew, the thing is that in Hebrew, Adam or Adama, it's not only earth, but it's also word look like. Adame
Oh, domain, yeah.
or dome.
Domain is to resemble.
Yes. So what he wanted to say, I look like you. Adam answered very chutzpas answered. I am look like you. I am your reflection. I am your how we call it in after that in Hebrew?
Resemblance.
We call it that in God's image.
Oh,
Man was created in God's image, right? Yes, please.
Well, would be future tense, no?
Mm-hmm.
So it's I will resemble.
Yes. You're right. I'm in process of being like you. I am developed. I go and look like you. Adame. Adame Leilion. That is Chazal gave this interpretation, that how they understand that this in. So what it means that Hashem, that he's look like Hashem. We feel a little bit uncomfortable with this expression. It's like a look like some idolatry expression that I'm look like Hashem. It's because we think that Adam is a man, but it's not. It's mistake. People don't understand Torah when they read. They think Adam, this is a man, but he's not a man. It's like we say, it's word that we use, man, but in Hebrew it calls Ben Adam. Man is not Adam, it's Ben Adam. Ben Adam, it means that he is result of man. He is son of man. He is not man. Ben Adam, it means that it's already another. We are like detailization of this man. Man, it's himself. It means Adam. It was an idea. Hashem didn't talk to some guy with glasses and the pipe that talk to him intellectually. Adam, it was some idea that represent God. That would be called image of God, right? That's what it say. בצלם ודמות. בצלמו ובדמותו. דמות. דומות. דמות. Image. How we say in English, צלם ודמות? God's image, right? But it's How say?
Form,
Form and image.
like Plato.
Yes, form and image. Yeah, you say that.
Yeah.
So, what do you mean? God also has a black hat, like me. I look like God. God forbid. I'm not look like God. So what it means? It means that there is some that I am just a revelation. I am a revelation of idea of God's form and image. But I'm not. I don't have real his. So what? How a man look like God? What does it mean that he look like? That he has image. Man meant that that he is like I would say like this. All our world, it's not something external to Kadosh Baruch Hu. Our world is some reflection of a Kadosh Baruch Hu. It's not like we talked before, like a childish approach, or childish, like we imagine that there is some God in heaven. What is in heaven? In some stratosphere, something like in some there in cosmos. God that He create, conduct, and ruling this world. This is it's like a children. They think like this. We believe that this world reality, this is that the way how Hashem appeared in the world. It's not something else from Hashem. It's Him that appears in this world, and of course, He. We have no idea of to imagine what it is. But it's not somebody spiritual in some world, spiritual world, and from there he conduct physical world. It's idolatry to think that. We don't believe in that. It's something look like you, yourself, your soul, your conscious, how you relate to yourself. Your body, it's not like there is like you in some world that conduct your body. You are in your body. You are not your body. You're not identified yourself with your body, but your body, it's not something outside that you conduct this body. It's you that that live in this body. But this doesn't limit you that you only body. But you are in your body. All this world, Hashem, here. And a man, this is Hashem's way to think about himself. And this is a different topic, but what we say that Hashem, a man look like a Kadosh Baruch Hu, look like Hashem, it means that we try the Chazal says, we try to be as him. He is good and we try to be good. He is help to people and we try to help to people. It's like this is our model that we try to represent in this world as Hashem's revelation. Okay, this is understandable, and that's what he says. I am look like you. I want to be like you, Adameh, like in the future. That is a man in the highest point. Okay, so we'll stop here.